Good evening, everybody. Happy terrific Tuesday, and welcome back. We are here to recap the Married to Medicine Part 1 reunion of season 11, episode 16. Uncensored is what they entitled this episode, and it was very uncensored. Good evening, Auntie.
Good evening.
How you
hmm How you doing?
Listen, you said Auntie Wendy out here terrorizing the streets with her wheelchair.
My scooter.
Listen, she's terrorizing the streets with her scooter, and the Married to Medicine ladies are terrorizing us with their drama and foolishness.
Yes, they are.
It's been a season. It's
Mhm.
been a season. We want to welcome everybody into the building. We are here, as I said, to recap Married to Medicine Reunion Part 1. We are live on both channels. We are recapping shows with Diva and Royaire. So we have recapped quite a few shows so far. Right now, we are recapping The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Sweet 16, and Married to Medicine. So make sure you hit the like button on both of our channels. Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva and Royaire's World. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn your notification bells on all. That way you see each and every time we post a video with you in mind. And do us one more favor. If you can hit that share button, let the people know that we are live and we are recapping this part 1 season finale of Married to Medicine. Auntie, it's been a long season.
Uh-huh.
We've had fights, we've had fallouts, we've
Mm,
had makeups, we've met new men, we've
mm.
seen old men with new wives. I mean,
Not old man with new eyes. You coming out the gate starting.
listen, it's been a whole season of a lot, but we are here.
We are.
Your thoughts, so far, here we are. We have made it to the end. I know overall we've already kind of talked about this season and how we felt, but this reunion overall, where did you fall, coming in?
Can you send some oxygen over here? um, for them to be vets, right? Because this is their 11th season. This was an epic fail, part 1, and I'm not quite sure why it gotta be 3 parts. Maybe because the men come in the midst of it, and I know that's the meat to their reunion is
Mm-hmm.
this thing that happened between Greg and King. But right now,
Yeah, I'm feeling it. This was boring. It did not serve a real purpose for me for a 3-part reunion. We could have did all of this in this 1 part tonight, but they gave us 3 parts, so we're gonna recap all 3 of the parts of Married to Medicine. So we'll jump right in.
before you start, Mitchell, we're gonna get into this. Listen, the way they did Sweet Tea is whoa, but we'll talk about it. But go ahead.
Low down, dirty individuals.
Visible. If we're gonna get anything from these reunions, it's some epic reads, okay?
Yes.
Low down, dirty individual. I need a chance to use that on somebody.
Mm.
Like, you a low down, dirty individual.
Yeah, you gotta say it just like that with the finger. With the finger, literally. Okay.
Low down, dirty individual. Go ahead.
Low down, dirty individuals. But listen, just real quick, can you tilt your computer down some? Like you a little low to the.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, you a little low.
Is that better?
There we go, because the sound was blocking you a little bit. We want to see all of this beauty, okay?
Let's see.
All this Aries beauty.
Got a little Adidas shirt on. Come on now.
It's giving today. You cute. I'm feeling it.
Come on now.
So listen, let's get right into this. We opening up. The ladies are coming in from the New York streets. They are getting ready to get dressed and get into their. Thank you so much. They are getting dressed and getting ready to get into their, giddy ups. Okay. So Simone gets out of her car first. She says that today is DOA, Day of Accountability. Okay. She wants the people to be held accountable for their actions. So today is.
DOA. Somebody put hashtag in the chat. DOA. Come on now.
Okay, hashtag it, people.
Mm-hmm.
Toya is next. She said, she tried this season. She tried to be the friend that she was supposed to be, but some people let the social media get to their head, okay? And so she gonna go in here and she gonna do what she does best. Put on a show, okay? Jackie and Simone are back sharing a dressing room again. It's been a couple of seasons since Jackie and Simone have shared a dressing room, but they are back together. Jackie says she is not surprised that Phaedra did not show up to this reunion. Simone said that she did try to reach out and it was not a thing. And she ain't surprised either, okay? Quad said, she is not worried about King and Greg being in the same space because King has learned how to control his temper and himself. Now that's what she said. He's got a lesson now. He's learned, okay? After they done went to HR on the man and had to let them know that that's not what we're here for. He's learned a lesson, okay? Letitia, she just went on the phone with Greg. She said she just want everybody to keep the same energy they've been having and hold themselves accountable for the things that they've done and don't play her out, okay? She said don't play her out. She's not here for that. And if y'all not gonna do it, she's out the door. Heavenly said that she don't have no beef with nobody. She's here and she's ready to have a good time. And Contessa says she is ready to get on and come on back in, okay? She's moved on and she's good with Heavenly and her relationship. So, we come on now. Tonight is a Bridgerton themed reunion. And so, I kind of had to bring on our little Bridgerton theme that I felt that we were doing, okay? And so here's our Bridgerton theme background. We're in the garden. We out here doing our thing. But the ladies do have their outfits, okay? So we have Mimi over here in the blue. Mimi is, Mimiing, doing her thing in her blue dress. We have Miss Contessa. She looks really, cute in her dress. Got a body for days. Letitia, for days, okay? Letitia is giving Barbie doll. It's giving Black Barbie. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. That's what I got of it. Simone, basic and simple Simone. Nothing special, nothing out of the norm of Simone. Jackie is serving, queendom. I like this off the shoulder, jacket that she has on. I like this dress that it's giving. It's cute. I love it.
Nice. It's classic.
Nice. Yes. Heavenly, I like the hair. The dress was just too fitting for. I think the boobs was just too out too much for me, and I feel like she always kind of follows the same theme every season. This kind of like mesh, like mesh. Yeah. I wanted something different, but the hair was cute. The makeup was nice. She looked like she was kind of swollen in the face through this reunion. I don't know if she just got fresh Botox or something, but she looked a little swollen in the face to me. But I mean, she do talk about getting the, whatever. So, but I mean, it was. I was not a fan of Toya's dress. It just wasn't for me. I didn't care for it. I just did not care for it.
He looked nice sitting down.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was his own movement.
Okay.
His own movement. Yeah. But you know what? Toya is so pretty that
she is beautiful now, flawless now.
She's flawless. Whatever she go on, it is what it is. It works for her. But yeah, I thought overall from the sit down or whatever, she looked good. Like it was her. It was Toya. It was Toya.
This is definitely Toya for sure.
Yeah.
I think for me it was just the ruffles and then the
high low.
It was too much for me.
It was a lot.
But overall, she's a beautiful girl. Face was beat. It was flawless, just very natural. Not too much, not too little. And then Miss Quad. I did not like the top part of the dress, but the way that the dress flows out, I really do like it. I did not care for the hair pull back. The ponytail looked very fake to me and didn't like that. But the overall makeup was really, really good. And I like I said, the flow out of the dress. But overall, for me, best dress, I have to give it to Jackie. I love Jackie's outfit.
I'm gonna roll with you on that. I go Jackie. I go Contessa and Toya, but on the same level for me, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of them could fall where they fall. But you know what? So my top three is Jackie, Toya, and Contessa.
I have to agree with you on that. I
Yeah.
think Jackie, Toya, and Contessa. I think
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Yeah, I'm following there with you. So leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section. What you think, who you think the top three were for you, or the best dressed, and we'll kind of go through those as we kind of get in through the rest of this episode. But those are the look of the ladies. You know, great. I love the Georgington theme of the episode. That really, really was like, oh, that's super cute. I like that. So yeah, that was the looks for this reunion. So we get our greeting from Andy. Andy Cohen is live from New York. We are here for the Married to Medicine reunion, part 1. We greet Jackie. You know, he was hoping that she would have her Elphaba glasses on, which I thought was so
cute. Mm-hmm.
I said yes for the Elphaba glasses. Those were cute. Simone said that she's saving ears tonight as Andy greeted her. Heavenly was asked if she's going to behave. She said she's going to be on her best behavior. Quad was told that she is giving Bridgerton of the future. Okay. Letitia.
And that's exactly what she was given.
It was Bridgerton of the future for sure.
That dress was doing a lot.
Come on, Andy, with your shade. We see you. Letitia said that she was glad to be here and she's in a fairy tale. She's in her fairy tale moment. And Contessa said that she was glad to be back. You know, she did watch last season and it was a shit show and she was glad to not be a part of it. Okay. So that was that. Let's see. A Styles is saying Contessa is number 1. He's saying Quad is number 2. Toya is number 3. Simply Steph said Toya, Contessa, and Mimi. Okay. You know, Mimi's dress was just.
Yeah, I gotta see her on the couch because sometimes the pictures you can't really get a real feel.
Yeah.
So you know, since we already saw those that we named, that's why I said those 3. But when Mimi comes out, I'll take a look. But you know, I'm not quite feeling Mimi, so I don't know how I'm gonna feel about her dress, whether it's nice or whatever. Because I ain't really feeling Mimi, but you know, that's another story for another day.
Yeah, her outfit, it just I don't know. For me, it was too much for a first time on the reunion. For me,
why is she on the couch? Wasn't she a friend of?
I mean, well, Shamia would have time on the couch being a friend of sometimes. So,
you know, you are correct.
You know, I guess they just given her. Buffy had time on the couch. She was never a full-time castmate. So
you're right.
They just, I guess people that play major roles, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. No, and Phaedra didn't show up, so maybe they was just trying to kind of fill the space since Phaedra did not show.
That is true. Okay, I'll let it go because I was like, why Mimi got a dress on? Because you know, remember sometimes they bring people out there, they got to get all dressed up and they have them out there for 5 minutes. That's messy.
Like Jacqueline.
Yeah. And Jacqueline slayed in her outfit with her pregnancy.
She did. She was cute. Now she deserved a moment for sure because she was beautiful. She was so beautiful.
But they gave her like 5. I don't even know if it was 5 minutes. He was like hi, and the next thing you know, he was saying bye.
Well, you know, Mia messed that up for her because Mia decided to walk off set, you know, but at least Mia showed, you know, Mia showed. And speaking of people showing up and not showing up, you know, one of the first people that we would have to deal with was Miss Phaedra Parks. You know, Andy did say that we are missing one, which was Phaedra. You know, Phaedra was invited to the reunion, but she decided that, you know, she didn't want to be a part of the show anymore. So she did turn down the invitation. You know, Andy asked Jackie how she felt, you know, and was she surprised? You know, Jackie said that she feels that there is enough talent, you know, grace and class on this couch. And so we're good. Quad said, so basically said, you're saying that we don't need her and we don't. Okay. Toya said that she did try to reach out to Phaedra. She talked to Phaedra and Phaedra said that she wouldn't come back to help this show for shit. Okay. Those were her words, not mine.
I thought that was hilarious.
Hilarious.
I thought that was hilarious.
So funny. They did a moment of a Phaedra vault, never before seen episode since Phaedra did not show up. Phaedra was asked how she felt and what she learned about this cast. She said that the ladies are trash. Thank you so much. She said that the ladies are trash. They're demonic minions. They They are of hell, demonic minions of hell. They are those bitches, those angry black women that are mean because they are fat and funny looking, and she's happy to be leaving the show. Okay. The ladies thought that it was terrible what Phaedra said. Everyone was very hurt. Toya said that she was one of the first people to welcome Phaedra into this group. She was excited, and that everyone was excited to have her a part of the show. Letitia feels that Phaedra did not fit in the group, that, you know, the ladies just did not work well with her and she had to move forward. Now, she does continue to still talk to Letitia and Contessa and Toya. Heavenly and the others feel that the downfall of Phaedra was her not being honest about inviting Apollo and letting him know that he was coming to the couples trip. You know, Jackie feels that it backfired in her face. Everybody is saying that Phaedra knew that Apollo and his friend were friends. They knew that it would piss Apollo off that, you know, Phaedra was with his friend there or with any man there, because allegedly Apollo gets jealous by any man that Phaedra starts to date or is into. Andy did, you know, update us with some news that we kind of already knew ourselves, that Apollo and Shireen are in the midst of filing for divorce. Shireen filed for divorce, and so they are in the midst of a separation. Quad feels that, you know, it's nothing different. You just changed partners. The person did not change. You just changed partners.
That
And
was
that was very interesting, because so Quad, did you just change partners, but you still the same person?
oh, okay. You better talk. That was so messy.
Messy, messy, messy. Um, I'll stop there and we can kind of gather.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Simone did an impression of Phaedra. I'll stop after this. Simone did an impression of Phaedra, which was, you know, whatever. If you seen it, you seen it. If you didn't, go back and watch. So, your thoughts on that first part of the reunion?
So I love, you know, the opening scenes, and it was interesting. This is, remember, they did get back in the same fitting room, I think, last year, but it
Okay.
was all three of them. It was Dr.
Yes,
Heavenly, Jackie, and Simone.
you're
So
right.
it's interesting for me to see that it was back to just it being Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone in the dressing room together. And I like that. I never liked the fact that they fell out. It just didn't seem right to me. These two supported each other during med school.
Mm-hmm.
They're both OBGYNs. And that doesn't mean I'm trying to say that nobody else should be in their friend circle, but I didn't like the fallout between them. So to see them back together again, I loved it.
Yes.
Okay. So the fact that Phaedra did that confessional, first of all, ain't there no people on there are far from fat, but she was pissy hot mad, and she said she's glad to be leaving. Oh, she dropped the whole bomb. A whole bomb. Okay. It's pretty much saying they evil, they're mean girls. I'm glad to be leaving. You know, they ugly, they this, they that, they whatever. And
Not
they
that funny looking. I said, not funny looking.
and they was never good to her. It is just a whole hot stinking mess. Okay.
Mm.
So, you know, that was something else. That was crazy. You know, the day of accountability, I don't think any accountability really happened, right?
Mm.
The fact that Toya said what Phaedra said, I fell out on my couch. Okay. I said, now she said she wouldn't help that show for nothing. I said, good gosh almighty. Okay. So she's saying your hoes are on your own because y'all played me. And without Phaedra, that reunion, the part one, was really nothing. Okay. They need her. They stupid. They should have played the game a little bit better.
Yeah.
So what other scene did I want to talk about? I didn't understand why Sweet Tea was like, I want to come out last. I thought that was, I was like, and you know, I like Sweet Tea, but I was like, what's the big deal? Like, you want to go ahead.
I think, and this is just my thoughts, I think Letitia is starting to feel herself a little bit. and not in a negative way, but she has no real support from anybody else. And so
None.
if you gonna boost, if anybody gonna boost you up, you better boost yourself up, baby. Okay. She came out there with authority. She walked, she felt comfortable in her skin. She thought she was that girl, and I give it to her, honey. If ain't nobody else gonna give it to you, give it for yourself. And she did that. So go you. Okay. Nobody is there to defend her, to protect her.
She won't leave her pressure. I'm here. Okay,
Mhm.
so hey, I hear you. I'm here. And honey, they all had to look at her when she came in, but they
Mhm.
are a bunch of mean girls
They
because
are.
they had issues with other people before. And when they walked in, they didn't really say anything. But you notice when they all was kind of shading her when she came in.
Snickering and kicking and laughing and
Yeah, I felt
whispering
bad for
and
her
stuff.
too.
Like,
Yeah, I felt bad for her too. But you know what though? She's a strong girl.
mhm.
A strong girl because they are really trying to play her out. And I believe 102% that Toya told her to go after Quad.
Oh
And
yeah, we're
now to
gonna
act
address
like
that.
you,
Oh, we're gonna address that.
yeah.
Listen, that's right, Royaire. Toot your own horn. Look, Nene say toot toot. Hump the horn,
So,
Greg. Beat beat.
okay. Hello. Listen. And one day we're gonna do our own little Bravo award show, and we gonna
Yes, we
talk
gotta
about
do a shade recap, honey. The best shade. Oh my God.
it. So Dr. Simone mimicking Phaedra was an epic fail. It was an epic fail. Yeah, okay. It was an epic fail. So yeah, I was like, you didn't get that you didn't get that, Simone.
It didn't go off well at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. It fell flat for sure. Like I agree with what you said. You know, shout out to what's her name? Letitia coming out, you know, to her own horn, doing her own thing. You know, I love the confidence, you know, and you, if ain't nobody else gonna believe in you, believe in yourself. So I was here for it, you know. Phaedra, she didn't tell no lies. And the girls proved exactly what she was saying when Letitia came out there. Mean girls, bullies, you know, they just too old to be doing the stuff that they do. Just way too old and way too professional in my personal opinion. But I think Simone's read, as you said, it definitely fell flat. Nobody was willing to take accountability in regards to the Phaedra thing. I really do think, you know, because Heavenly said that she wanted to break the fourth wall and said that, you know, Apollo called and said that he really wanted to be a part of the show. I don't understand why cast members are allowed to invite and say who and who cannot be on the show. There was no position for Apollo to be here, point blank, end period. Even if Phaedra said that it was okay for him to show up, why do we need to bring exes to the show? I feel like, you know, Heavenly and the others need to take accountability in that. You know, as Toya said at the couples retreat on the last day, as a group, they do a lot of effed up shit. Like they really, really do. And none of them take accountability for the stuff that they do. So I think there needed to be accountability on that part, at least for Phaedra. Even if she did or did not know, it was still wrong to want to invite her ex-husband and to see what was going to happen. They just wanted an experience out of Phaedra, and they got what they asked for. Literally.
Yeah. Aces style. Well, I'm not going to disagree with you on this. If Phaedra wasn't returning to Raw, she would have been still playing nights and talking about how much the ladies are married to medicine champion marriage. Phaedra goes where the money resides. Well, you know that's Phaedra.
Listen.
Phaedra reality TV. And listen, if something goes on Roa and she got to make up with them girls on Married to Medicine, she will do what she got to do.
Well, listen, Garcelle just left Beverly Hills, so she may be able to hop on over to the Bev.
Yeah, she ain't moving her kids out there.
Phaedra will rent a house, pack them boys up, and move out there to film and come on back to Atlanta. Okay, don't play with Faye Faye.
That is true.
She'll run over to Dubai. She'll definitely go out to LA.
You are correct. I stand corrected. That is facts. You are correct. She gonna do what she gotta do for that cash.
Okay, that check, as long as it's gonna clear, she will be there. Okay.
Well.
So let's see. We go into a little quad segment, a package of Quad, just kind of reviewing everything that Quad has been through this season. After she left, she was bled out from last season. She was kicked out the group. She returned with a new man and a new Rolls Royce. So they played that little package of Quad. And so, the final thing that Quad had to say this season was onward and upward. Okay. That was her motto of the end of the season. So Quad is still working through some things daily in regards to, what happened with her and Simone. She's trying to maintain their friendship. Quad was very hurt by the comments that Simone made last year at the reunion in regards to her niece passing away. Quad also felt that she was owed an apology for being kicked out of the group last year. And so that was something that she wanted. Simone chose not to invite Quad to Whitnick, but Quad showed up anyways, and it seemed to bother Simone earlier on in the season. Simone told Quad that she's been calling for her to apologize, and she was not owed an apology from Napa. She was really owed an apology from the comment at the reunion last year. Also Quad, was keeping secrets. So that was another thing that bothered Simone in regards to her relationship with Quad. Quad felt that Simone was wrong for trying to put her out of Napa, and the ladies knew about it. Now, Toya had to speak up and say, listen, we had no clue that Simone was going to say out of her mouth, Quad, you have to go home. And she asked each of the ladies. She asked Dr. Jackie. She asked Dr. Heavenly. And they all said they had no clue. And Letitia did as well. Simone said that she doesn't practice what she says. She didn't even know that she was going to say it in the moment. She said what she said and she meant what she said. And what do you want to do about it? Okay? Quad, she wanted Andy to hold up and pause because Andy was kind of ready to move on. But Quad said, hold up, because there's something going on here. And we need to address it. We need to work it out, okay? And that moment, Diva, I said, Quad or Andy? Like, who running this? Andy, I need you to grab your balls by your hands, sir, and put them down on the table and say, this is my show. You don't tell me when to hold on. Simone, Quad wanted to know what her issue was from Simone. Simone said that you've been secretive, you've been giving us your ass to kiss for the past few years, and we're tired of it. Simone doesn't feel they gained, that they have learned anything, from Quad while she's off season or when she was a part of the show. And that was really her biggest issue. And she wants Quad to own up to the stuff that Quad does. And that seems to be a lot of people's issues with Quad, is that she does not take accountability for the things that she does. Quad felt that Simone wasn't being accountable, but Quad said that all of the ladies came at her at one time. It would have been one thing if it was a one-on-one thing. She would have been able to accept it a little bit more, but everybody came at her and she took it, unlike Phaedra was able to do. Toya felt that everyone's apology was fake to Quad. Andy pointed that out and wanted to know why she felt the apologies were fake. And, Toya broke it down and said, well, the ladies didn't want to argue with you, especially Jackie. We know that Jackie doesn't like confrontation and she doesn't want to be in it with you. Jackie said, listen, I did give the apology. It was sincere, but I stopped with the extraness because I didn't want to go back and forth. So I said what I said and I left it at that. Heavenly said that she truly did mean her apology, so she don't know what the hell Toya talking about because she ain't talking to her. Quad said that, it was just not cool for all of the ladies to do what they did. She said that she was not sharing with the ladies because they were not friends at the time. She said now that they are friends, that they will know what's going on and how things are going. Letitia, she said she had no issue with Letitia. Apparently, Letitia has been saying some things to her on social media. Letitia said, well, stop. Let me explain that. The only reason I came for you is because you came for me on social media first. Quad said that she had no issue with Letitia and that they were good on each other. Quad said that she has started the IVF process, that her and Dr. Jackie are working together, and that Quad can be pregnant any day now. Let's see. Quad says she's got her new Rolls Royce. Heavenly said you did a lot of work to get that Rolls Royce. She said 15 times a week is great, and that she got it in this morning as well. So that was the spiel over Quad and everything she had going on. Your thoughts?
You know, Quad is always going to be the victim. I'm so over it. I can't even take it. And yeah, Quad be lying. Come on, tell that. Quad be lying. She's just too much for me. You know, so just last year when they was ready to kick her off the show, and to blame it all on Dr. Simone, but Dr. Simone wanted to take it, so whatever. I thought it was a joke because they all sat there and voted Quad off the island. They all sat there and voted Quad off the island, and then Quad left, right? They did her real dirty. The fact that she can be friends with them, but she has all this energy towards Sweet Tea is out of control to me. Mm-hmm. I just can't even comprehend it. You mad because she kicked you out of her bridal shower, but they kicked you out. They brought you on the trip and then sent you home. And you had to take a commercial flight. Well, at least when Phaedra left, she got on her private jet.
Okay, baby, okay.
When you left, you had to call the airline and talk about, I know I was supposed to return on Friday, but I need to return today. So, I mean, her hiding king, Quad never shared her information with them. When it comes time to film, Quad shows up. Mm-hmm. As soon as they finish filming Reunion Part 3, Quad left the building and she won't return unless she's returning for the next season. So, I mean, you know, they kill me with that, right? Mm-hmm. So, and then Quad, what I thought was funny was when they talked about Quad's Rolls Royce and Sweet Tea said allegedly. Now, we have heard on the street slightly, it kind of fell on a little bit of cotton, that he was being sued for something with a car, Rolls Royce or something like that, right? Mm. Yeah, it was on the streets. It was on the Instagram. I just didn't do it because I ain't really got time for King and nothing for him. The true colors of King will show up soon anyway. The truth always rises to the top, Royaire.
It's giving baby daddy.
It's giving baby. It's giving. So, and you out here stunting on the show with this girl. Boy, bye. And, you know, so I mean, I was just like, okay. And you know, the way she spoke to Sweet Tea, the way she's still crying about what happened to her, and she's still in therapy over what they did to her. Why would you come back to a place where you still got to get therapy because they dogged you out? You in therapy, but yet you good friends with them again. You got to make that make sense to me. I was confused. You hanging with them, you good friends with them, but you got to go to therapy every day because of what they did to you last year. It just don't make no sense. And you got mad energy for Sweet Tea, but the people you love, including Toya, been dogging you out for years, and you just met Sweet Tea. It just don't make sense to me.
It makes no sense at all.
It makes no sense, right?
I totally go ahead. I totally get where, you know, Simone is coming from. Quad does not, you know, really share much in this group. You know, I feel as I have watched over through the season of Married to Medicine, Quad, there have been moments where Quad was there for the ladies. For example, when Simone's dad was missing, she did go with Simone to help look for her dad. You know, there were a couple of other there was a couple other things that were going on that Simone has been there to support the ladies, or Quad has been there to support the ladies in. But as far as taking accountability for the actions that she does, that is something that Quad does not do. Every time someone brings up something that Quad has done to them, she has a rebuttal of what they've done to her, how they hurt her. It's never, I apologize for my part, point blank, period. She'll apologize, but then she got to bring up, well, why she did that, because they made me do this. No, nobody can make you do anything based off of what they did. You choose to rebuttal based off of whatever. That's a choice you make. You don't have to do that. And that's why, that's what the ladies, that's what they want Quad to recognize and to understand. And it's like she misses it every time. It's like she said, we have to kiss your ass all the time in order for you to feel comfortable, and you want us to take your side on everything. And we will see that in this reunion later on, as we see that her and Simone got into it about them hanging out with Greg. You can't tell people who to hang out with, especially when you're not coming around on a regular basis, being a part of the group outside of filming. And that's what I think Simone issues are. Outside of filming, you do not do any kind of collaborating with us as a group of ladies. She does not. Thank you. She does not do any kind of collaborating with the other ladies. If you look on social media, you'll see Heavenly in the group out together. You'll see Simone and, you know, the group. But there are very rare instances that you see Quad outside of filming hanging with these ladies. And it's hard to build a relationship and be genuine and honest with someone that you're not connecting with off camera. It's just not authentic. It's not. And it's never going to work. I love the way that Toya brought up the fact that, you know, we did not want you to leave. But then again, Toya, y'all sat back and y'all were agreeing with, yeah, Quad, you got to go. Yeah, you got to go. So which one is it, Quad? Or which one is it, Toya? Did you want her to go or did you not want her to go? Because y'all definitely all came together and said she got to go.
That part.
I love that Toya brought it up, but I hate that nobody held Toya accountable for the part that she played in it, Jackie or Heavenly as well. Now, granted, Heavenly has genuinely apologized, and I will say that I can understand from Heavenly because she has stood on business. Heavenly has stood and said that she is with Quad 100%, though she has turned on Letitia after bringing her on and everything. You know, she has stuck by Quad, so I will give Heavenly that at least. But all of the other ladies, it's a continual flip-flop back and forth. We good, we not good. We like you, we don't like you. You take accountability, but then we apologize to you. Pick a side and stay on it, please. It's confusing.
Quad does give them her behind the kiss, and Quad started giving them their behind the kiss when she got on Sister Circle. When she got on that show,
you couldn't
tell Quad you could nothing. You couldn't tell Quad nothing. Not only could you not tell her anything, she felt like, oh, I don't need Married to Medicine no more. I got Sister Circle. These ladies have been there for me. Oh, she gave everybody her behind the kiss. And she also gave her behind the kiss when they first welcomed her back because she felt like the show wasn't ish without her.
Mm-hmm.
She was messy.
Yeah.
And she still is messy. In last season, when they was ready to kick her out of the group, she humbled herself. But for whatever reason, when they called her back, she pucked that chest right back up again, and she just act like she is that girl. She act like that show won't be able to do anything without her.
Yeah.
But I promise you this, in my opinion, unless they swap up a whole lot of cast, and I don't think Mimi is it. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think she is. No. But I feel like without Sweet Tea and Dr. G, what are y'all going to really have? Because y'all picking on them.
They're going to have to turn on each other, as they always do. They'll have to find one to pick on, and you know who it'll be?
Contessa.
It'll be, I didn't think about Contessa.
It'll be Contessa and Quad. It'll be Contessa and Quad. But can I tell you this? I'm over the Contessa and Dr. Heavenly nonsense, too.
We're going to get to that in just a moment as well, because I'm going to address that. But I want to address this real quick. And I may be overstepping when I say this, so please forgive me, internet world, whatever. But I think it's very shameful for Jackie to be, supporting Quad so heavily in this IVF journey when she knew that Letitia got on this show having issues with getting pregnancy and desiring help with IVF and trying to get pregnant. I thought that
was nasty.
It was nasty.
So you know what? Phaedra got it right. They're mean and they're nasty. Mm-hmm. I think that in them saying they may have an announcement, I was like, this is wild.
This is disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful. You know this girl is trying to have a baby and she's married. She's married. You know this girl is trying to have a baby and they're constantly shading her subliminally about not being able to get pregnant. They are nasty work. I thought that, I'm glad you brought that up, Royaire. I thought that whole thing was nasty. Yeah, Quad is a user. She's a hater. She's a manipulator and a wannabe. That's as nice as I can say. Come on now, Juice. That's facts right there. I thought that was nasty work. oh, he said, "And is Dr. Jackie helping you?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, this is nasty work."
Yeah, share with her, Jack, what we got going on. Oh, so now she Jack.
Let me tell you this. Let me say this, Royaire. For you to be grown, and you gonna sit there and have this baby and not be married, you's a whole fool.
You say that about her, and I'm gonna say this about Jackie. For you to be going up to the White House, the United States, while the first female vice president was in office, to talk about female immortality and helping women get pregnant and things like that. For you to talk about all of that, and then here's your castmate, here's your friend on your show,
And you don't help her.
and you don't help her.
Okay.
Now maybe they showed it. Maybe she did try to help her off camera. Maybe that's. But based off of what we're seeing here, there was no moment on this TV show that you ever extended a hand to help Letitia in her pregnancy journey or trying to get pregnant. And not to say that anybody's over anybody, but Jackie is that doctor. I mean, she's that girl. Nothing against Simone, but she's that girl.
She is. She really is. But you hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head. Oh, you think she's I felt like they was lying too. T. Jones said I think she's lying. I felt like they was lying too, but to be willing to do a lie like that,
lying about
it's still nasty work. I think they lying that to say, oh, we may have an announcement like to try to pretend like she's pregnant or something like that. Yeah, I know what yeah. I thought the whole thing was nasty work. Nasty work. And let me back up and say this. It was nasty of Quad to say that the man don't change. He just swapped out the wife and he's going to treat the other wife the same way that he treats the new wife. I will say this about people. I'm going to be very honest with you. Sometimes some people just don't mix. They're like oil and water. Mm-hmm. And then they could get, each individual could get with somebody else and they're perfect with those other people. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that you can find somebody that will bring out the best in you, and then you can find somebody that will bring out the worst in you. And the hope is that when you get married to someone, it's that someone that brings out the best in you.
Here's my issue with Quad, and then we can move on for this if you're ready. My issue with this is that I don't feel like she ever genuinely loved or cared about Greg. And she has kind of admitted to that herself.
Yep.
So it's hard for me to receive what you have to say about a man that you never really cared for like that in the first place anyways. You didn't really care what happened to him. So it's hard for me to receive the things that she's saying about Greg because you were never genuinely, in my opinion, and based off of what I've seen, with this man to really either make him or you better. You got with this man to make you somebody. You made yourself somebody. You made your money and you left as you said you wanted to and went about your business. So what are you mad about? Why are you mad that you got kicked off the show? Why are you mad that this man got married to somebody else? Why are you mad that he brought his new wife to the show? You wanted to be out of the marriage. You wanted to be out of the picture. He was the medicine. You were married to it. You left it. You're no longer a part of it. Why are you here?
You know why she's mad, Royaire? And then we'll move on. Like you said, she's mad because she wanted him to never find anybody.
She wanted him to be miserable.
She wanted him to be miserable. And so the minute he found someone, and then, you know, of course, whether they kicked him off or he left the show and she got to stay on, in her mind, that was a whole win, right? So when he actually got married and they asked him to come back, now she's feeling some type of way. When she sees that this girl actually loves him, now she's really feeling some type of way. Sweet Tea didn't have the words to verbalize herself, but I will say this: she was spot on. Quad is jealous.
She is.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna speed this up because we at 7:44 already. Jesus Christ. Okay. Woo. Okay, so, you know, we jump into a package with Toya. Toya had her baby shower with her Birkins this year. You know, Toya wanted her friends to practice truth. Toya was really the truth teller of the group this season. She was getting the ladies together, telling them about themselves and what she felt that they needed to do better. Toya hosted the Cowgirl Carter shoot this year as well. And so that was the bit of the package that we got at Toya. Let's see. Andy wanted to play a little game with Toya, tell Toya's truth. One of the questions was, who has had the most work in the group? She said Heavenly. The other question was, who needs help? Who's going to have the hardest time telling the truth? She said Letitia. And who needs to find a new stylist? She said Letitia. Heavenly said Simone. He asked who was cuter, Anderson Cooper or Andy Cohen. Of course, she said Andy Cohen, but she really meant Anderson Cooper. Okay. Toya is really tired of people talking about her relationship with Eugene and how she talks to him. She said that this is the dynamic of their relationship. This is what they do. Everybody has seen it. Everybody sees that Eugene has a voice and he's not afraid to speak up. He has used it many a times in this group. Okay. Toya says that she now has two Birkin bags. Stormy was not her first one, but she does have another one in her new closet. We talked about Toya's new home that she has. They gave us a little clip of the boys walking around the new home and showing everything. Toya said this is her 4th or 5th home, and she is here. She said she ain't renting it. It's hers, and she ain't living in nobody else's house. Letitia said, girl, please, you just got your name on the mortgage. Mine's been on my mortgage, okay? Toya says that she never had an issue with Letitia, and that Letitia and her started to have issues once Quad and her got together, and once Letitia started listening to the internet. Letitia said when she first got on the show that Toya wanted her to beef with Quad and go to war with her because of the issues that they were having at that time, and that Heavenly and Toya was the instigator between Quad and Letitia. Toya said that that's not even in her nature to say that she would want somebody to go to war. She said that her and Quad had issues 6 years prior to Letitia coming on, so why would she need her to stop any of their issues? Quad said that she's not upset with Letitia, that her issue was that when, they were having her bachelorette party, she wanted to accommodate Toya by putting her out, and that's when her and Letitia started having issues. But prior to that, she was good with Letitia. Letitia said that, Quad is a country bumpkin from Tennessee. She said, you calling me a country bumpkin, girl? You got some nerve. Toya said that Letitia is always lying and not taking accountability for anything. Simone came over to Letitia, got down and said, listen, you have to calm down.
Got down on bended knee.
I'm down on bended knee. She said, you don't have to go to war with these ladies, that you can talk it out, and let it be what it's going to be. Letitia felt that the ladies were attacking her, and they are. They attack her at all angles, and it gives her no opportunity to think about what she can say or rebuttal with something good that she can say. So that was that bit. Anything on that?
Oh, God. And it was exhausting. Hey, it was exhausting. So, I mean, the gaslighting on Letitia was so
She do need to teach classes because she can teach somebody how to get out.
Not a master class. A master class by Toya. She said, she said she don't know she on house number 4 or 5. First of all, I think they did a plan, and their plan was take down the Sweet Tea.
Mm-hmm.
That it was obvious, right? Yeah. Because for you, as many houses as you've been through, for you to shade Tisha on this house situation, it was messy. And then for Quad, you saying you mad at your ex who you said you can't stand them, right? You mad because your ex-wife, you bum rushed her bridal shower and she kicked you out, and you mad talking about I brought you gifts, I was trying to be friends with you. She sounded so stupid to me saying that. And you listened to Toya because she told you to kick me out, but now you're speaking to Toya and you're not speaking to Sweet Tea. But Toya is the one that said kick you out. Is you got to make this stupidity make sense to me. Yeah, it was a gang bang on Sweet Tea. It was, and it was pathetic. And the fact that Sweet Tea sat there and took it like a boss. I'm glad she was able to sit there, but this thing is abusive at this point. It's abusive. And it was just terrible. So Simone getting down there and trying to help her out. I appreciated Simone going over there to her, because this was just, it was the worst. Sweet Tea can't read because Sweet Tea said on her own show on YouTube is that she's living her real life on the show, and they're all living a lie. They're all playing games because they know the reality TV thing is that they just play games. Where Sweet Tea says she was living out her real truth, and that's why they're able to just come at her, come at her, come at her, come at her, come at her. It is mentally draining, and that's why I'm almost over Married to Medicine. But I also think that's why they're not really having no good show, because everybody is just lying. It's just a bunch of lies. But this whole thing, it was hard for me because it was very clear. I said, oh, they said we're coming for Sweet Tea. They all was just dogging her, giving subliminal messages. And for you to mock pregnancy is just, for any woman to mock another woman in about their pregnancy journey is just dreadful.
And I would think Jackie would have more sympathy for Letitia, especially knowing that she wanted a child as well. It was not able to do so.
You better remember the storylines, Royaire. That part. And you know why her own husband didn't give a darn? Because he already had a kid. He didn't want her to adopt. He didn't want her to use a surrogate. He didn't give a darn because he already had a kid. You better talk, Royaire. They're disgusting. You know what? What's the name? Got it right. A bunch of mean girls.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You get me worked up.
Yes. So yes, thank you to Simone for, trying to help Letitia a little bit. I really do think I agree with what you said, and then we'll move on. I think that they plan to attack Letitia. There was nobody else to attack. Phaedra didn't show up. Contessa really ain't got too much going on to really attack her about anything. So this was a gang up on Letitia. Jackie could sit back and do what she does best, say nothing. And Toya, Quad, and Heavenly were able to just attack her with nobody holding them accountable for the things that they do and say as well. Because it's not like it's a one-sided thing, like Letitia just be talking about them behind their backs. They jumped off a lot of this stuff that they've got going on. And now they want to hide their hands like they didn't start the rock throwing from the jump. Y'all brought this girl on this show with Quad's ex-husband. If Quad was y'all true friend, y'all never would have done that in the first place. But like y'all admitted to, y'all was trying to help Quad save her house and her home and give her a job so that she could be stable. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And you know what? Jackie, not for nothing, she gets this $1 million check and she never working. Nobody did Sweet Tea worse than her husband, Greg. That's his jam. All right. Thanks for the super chat. I don't, I think that we are all human. And I think that Quad, she knows how to push his buttons. And Quad,
you better talk, Lorraine B. Come on now. This is what we're talking about. Like Letitia said, everybody's living their fake life while she's running around living her authentic life and have things to talk about. They don't have nothing to talk about. As she said on the couch, you didn't have anything else to talk about this season, so you tried to come against me because Letitia even said on 4th of July, her and Toya and Simone, they were all hanging out at Toya's home and everything was good. Then all of a sudden, there was nothing else for her to talk about, so she decided to turn on Letitia, disinvite her to the Georgington thing that she did. Yeah. These girls, yeah.
It's sad. Yeah, it's just, it's pure evilness.
And I don't want people to get confused. I'm sorry. In no way am I saying go Letitia, go Letitia, go Letitia. Like it's not about Letitia. For me, it's about right and wrong. And they have done this girl a lot of wrong to be as grown and doctors that they claim themselves to be. Y'all have done this girl wrong. She came on this show being her authentic self. Y'all talked about her being country, not fitting in, looking ugly, being fat. Like all of these things y'all have said out of y'all mouths in the past 2 years that we have had Letitia on the show. She didn't come on here beefing with none of y'all. She didn't know none of y'all to be beefing with y'all.
And Emmanuel, you said that the way that Sweet Tea, the way that Greg treats Sweet Tea gives nobody the license to be mean to her. And Precious Gem, she's actually agreed with you. But you know, I want to go back to that really quickly before we move on and close out. Quad knows how to push his buttons. And I'm connecting with you, Royaire, because she even pretty much said it in a roundabout way. And what's her name said it? What's our girl that ended up getting kicked off this show? Mariah said it, right? Quad never loved Greg.
She did.
Quad got with Greg because she needed a place to stay.
Elevate her.
And elevate her. As soon as she got money and she was making her checks from Married to Medicine,
and Sister
Circle, she had no love for Greg. And I don't have a problem with you know what's funny to me? People will go sleep in a bed with a man and he had another person before them that slept in that same bed. There ain't no mattress or nothing got changed. But now because you married a man, you can't move in that house.
And she took the man that the bed that the man and her slept in. Because remember, he was complaining about her taking a sleep number.
So I don't understand what is wrong with like moving in this man's house. So just so they can be showing or doing something, they need to go build a house and lose money or not be able to afford that house that they build. I don't know. It's just the silliness of it all. And my thing is, I will definitely say this. I get y'all need to make your money, but I don't know. I don't know if I would want to
do it authentically. Do it authentically. Tell your real stories. Be honest about what's going on. For example, like we've been saying all season, I love the scenes with Heavenly and her son, with Damon and the kids, with the Toya and her kids, like Simone and Cecil, and like those are authentic scenes. Y'all are doctors. Give us. I know that there are people who are willing to sign waivers to talk about their medical issues on TV. Give us some medicine in this Married to Medicine, please. Please. Stop all this fake drama and foolery. Give us something to really talk about. Be authentic and not taking us back. But that's why I am loving the Real Housewives of Atlanta this season, because they are giving authentic, real storylines from their lives. Give y'all authentic storylines from y'all lives and give us what y'all are doing at these doctors' offices and in the medicine. Let's go on to Contessa. Contessa's package is up next. She is back after all of the fallout with Heavenly. You know, she and Scott are in a better place. They're doing well. Andy asked, you know, Contessa, how was it being back? She said the one thing about this group is when you leave and come back, it's like you never left. Contessa was really hurt with the things that happened between her and Heavenly, but she was glad that those things were talked about on TV, and she was glad that she complained about them because it helped her and Scott to work through their issues and go to counseling and talk about some things. You know, she felt that Heavenly dogged her out, and it magnified the issue even more once the outside world kind of got into it. She said that her and Heavenly had a small falling out, and it just was magnified after the, you know, world got into it. Heavenly said nobody dogged you out. Everything played out on TV. You talked about your man. The only thing I told you to do was stop talking about your husband negatively on TV if you're going to stay with him. Heavenly said that she does not know who Contessa is. She doesn't know who Contessa is or when she's telling the truth. Contessa said the funny thing is she feels the same way about Dr. Heavenly. Contessa says that her marriage is stronger now. Andy said it would be good, since that they're doing it would be good since they're doing better for you to stop talking about their marriage. Heavenly said that she has stopped talking about it. Toya said that they are even, that they have both talked about each other. Heavenly talked about Contessa's marriage and her husband being abusive allegedly. And Contessa talked about Damon cheating and having a baby with a white woman. Heavenly said that she did not say F Contessa's mama. Letitia said, yes, you did. Quad said that she told Heavenly that she was wrong for talking about Contessa's mom, that you shouldn't talk about any mama, anybody. Excuse me, that you shouldn't talk about anybody's mom, but especially someone's mom that passed away. Andy asked, did Heavenly want to give Contessa an apology? She said she already has, and she's moving on from that situation. Andy said, speaking of cheating, Contessa, do you have a PI on Heavenly in regards to what she's got going on? Sleeping in separate bedrooms, paying her kids to love her, Damon sleeping with a white woman and having a mixed baby. Contessa said that's a great question to ask. It came from the Atlanta streets, okay? Quad said that she never heard any of those things at all. Andy asked the other ladies, did they hear it? Simone said that she did hear that Damon asked the lady for her number. Toya said that she heard it, and Letitia seemed like that she heard it as well, but she did not confirm on this episode whether or not she heard it. And that ended us off on part 1 of the Married to Medicine reunion.
What do I want to say about this last few scenes here? The whole thing with Heavenly and this cheating situation. You know what I want to say about it is that we get on every show somebody who feels they're off limits, like y'all don't talk about me, but we could talk about everybody else. And her and Dr. Damon with getting mad at people that say they believe or not believe the rumors, it baffles me. I wouldn't give a darn who believed or not believe. If I said that my man ain't cheating and he said he ain't cheating, and I'd be like, y'all want to believe the rumor, whatever. She gonna sit there and talk about, do y'all believe the rumors? What if they do? Now what? You gonna jump up and beat them up? Like, this is stupid. Yeah, she gets real quiet when they bring up that topic. Listen, and what was that season where we saw the Similac in her cabinets?
Last year.
Yeah, last year. I think there perhaps might have been some infidelity. Is there a baby or not? I don't know. Only they know. But I know there was some Similac in her house. That's what I do know. So I'll just leave that at that. Her and Contessa, I hope that very soon they get over this back and forth of, you talked about my husband, you said this, and we was together, I thought you was my friend, and all this other stuff. Like, I just can't no more. I don't know what else to do with it. I just can't no more. That's it, and that's all.
This scene was very interesting. Welcome back, Contessa. It was nice to have Contessa back. I at first did not like Contessa coming back on because she was still dragging out this Heavenly in her situation. I was just so over that. But, I'm so glad that her and Scott were able to work things out. For some people, you do have to talk things out and hear things out loud in order to fix things. I think one thing that I have heard a lot on reality TV or from reality TV stars is that a lot of times you don't recognize your issues until you see them face to face. And so maybe Scott was able to see himself face to face and come to the reality of some of the things that Contessa was complaining about or saying that she had issues with in their marriage. So I'm glad that they were able to talk those things out and go to counseling and work through those issues as any couple should. I never want to see a couple separated, divorced, or have to split their family. So I'm so glad that those things did work out with them. I'm so glad that Quad did step up and correct Heavenly in talking about people's moms. Even though we have this conversation every season, at least somebody is trying to hold Heavenly accountable in regard to talking about people's families and their moms. It's out of pocket, disrespectful, and we too grown for that. Come up with something else to say. Y'all talk about Letitia can't read. Well, apparently Heavenly can't read either, because the only thing she ever come up with is your mom. And you not finna sit up and talk about my mama and think I'm not finna have nothing to say about it, because we definitely gonna be forever.
Let me tell you something. You know, it's a whole cultural thing with that. It's like we could all be, you know, people could have said some whole vow stuff before that. The minute they say your mama, it's on site. It's square up, ho. Yeah.
Square up, ho. Okay. Oh my God.
That died in 2010?
Not my...
Square up, ho.
I think that is my favorite scene of the season. My mama that died in 2010. My mama.
I just want to get this right. My mama.
That was reality.
My mama that died in 2010. Child, not the year. I'm surprised she didn't get the whole date.
Baby, that was hilarious to my soul. That was so good. But I also like the fact that Toya, you know, said that y'all were even. Heavenly, you talked about her husband. You know, Contessa, you talked about her husband. Y'all talked about each other. Y'all good. Let it go. Let's move on. You know, like I said, unfortunately, they just did not have a lot to talk about this episode or over this season. Phaedra didn't show up. You can only give so much to Letitia and Contessa, you know, to make them the bad guy, if you may. You know, it was just nothing really too much came out of this for me. So I'm going to rate this episode. Oh, well, before I do that, sorry, y'all. I'm over it, okay? Listen, but this was the full recap of part 1 of Married to Medicine. We hope that you guys enjoyed it. We are live on both channels. Make sure you have hit the like button on both channels. And if you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe to our channels. We really appreciate your participation and being a part of our lives here on YouTube. At the end of every episode, we like to get your thoughts and opinions on what you think about the episode on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. Let us know your thoughts and opinions on part 1 of Married to Medicine, the reunion. Auntie, your thoughts on this part 1? Yes, blow my brains out, literally.
I'm going to give it a 2. The hate towards Sweet Tea, disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
The mockery of pregnancy, disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
The mockery of I didn't move into somebody else's home, deplorable.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the gaslighting, unbelievable. And like you said, for Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone to be OBGYNs, and for Dr. Jackie to sit up there talking about she's doing IVF. And I'm not saying that somebody that's not married shouldn't be doing IVF. That's not what I'm saying. But you want to help a person that has no man really, or half a man, or not even married to this man, but you won't help the married lady try to have her baby? And you think it's cute to sit up on the couch? Dr. Jackie, I think, is low-key one of the nastiest ones on that set.
Mm.
She do low-key shade. Low-key. Oh, we may have an announcement. Yeah, a 2. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why I'm giving it a 2, I don't even know why I'm giving it a 2. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
I'm confused about why I'm giving it a 2.
That was so funny. Oh my God, that was hilarious. I'm gonna have to give this a 1. This was just so boring. Out of everything that we could have talked about on this episode, so much happened in this season, especially with the kids. So much happened, with the ladies, and maybe that'll come later on in the episodes or whatever. But I just feel like there was so much more important stuff that we could have talked about, or things that were more interesting that we could have talked about, versus all of this drama and foolishness that we are talking about. That means nothing to nobody, literally. Like it was a waste of an episode. We could have moved on from this part 1 and done part 2 and see what they had to offer us for part 2. But yeah, it's the Mean Girls. It's the Mean Girls.
Yeah, Jay, it's the Mean Girls. Yeah.
So let's see. K Mocha gave it a 4. Emmanuel said the women who went up to Simone, that was interesting. The woman who went up to Simone. What woman who went up to Simone? Let me know what you're talking about, Emmanuel. The woman who went up to Simone. Okay. Nita gave it a 1. Katrina, please hit that like button. Thank you so much on both channels. Subscribe and follow, share, and comment. Thank you so much, Katrina. We appreciate you. Let's see. Katrina gave it a 3. Simply gave it a 4. Rihanna gave it a 1. Judy gave it a 1. Lorraine gave it a 5. Diva is over it, and so am I. Rose Springs, I give it a 0. Heavenly irks my nerves, sitting up looking like the cowardly lion from the Wiz.
Now I want to see Oz so I could go get a heart.
Rose. I can't.
Rose. Oh my God.
Auntie Heavenly, I really do. I like you as a person off this show, but on this show, I'm not feeling it, girl. I'm not feeling it, and I'm so sorry. But Auntie Heavenly, I still love you, girl. I still love you. Let's see. Lily English Rose is giving it a 2. Sassy B is rating it a 1. And then she said a -1. The one that said Damon asked for the number. Oh, okay.
Oh, remember she said that somebody asked for his number or something like that?
Yes.
And Dr. Heavenly looked like she was gonna pass out.
All the way. She thought she was gonna fall off the couch, honey.
Yeah,
Tade is giving it a 4. Lucille is giving it a 4. Daddy asked for her number.
You want what? Oh, Lorraine, I seen that, and I'm so proud of her. But I would be even prouder if she paid Blaze.
Not the old lady gang was closed with no notice on it. I can't.
But Lorraine, I can't get tickets now. I have a friend, he had been got his tickets. I can't get tickets now. I'm not paying $1,000 for one ticket. I'm not. Now, I would bite the bullet slightly if it was $1,000 and it was gonna be 2 tickets. No, I ain't paying $1,000 for no one ticket. I ain't into Denzel like that. No, that's gonna be a negative.
Look, not the rent. Not the rent.
I'm just saying.
Well, everyone, that has been our season 11, episode 16 recap of Married to Medicine Uncensored. Leave your thoughts and opinions down below of anything that you felt about this episode. We do go back and read the comments on our channels, so we greatly appreciate you indulging in us and entertaining us with your comments. Y'all got some hilarious comments and some opinionated comments that I really be enjoying. So continue to leave your thoughts and opinions down below in our comment section. If you have not hit the like button on your way in, make sure you hit the like button as we are going out tonight. And if you're not a subscriber, go on and hit that subscribe button. I don't know what you're waiting for, but I'm sure we have entertained you as y'all have entertained us tonight. So we greatly appreciate your. Feel free to give to the channel. I got some cash apps from some of you guys last night, so thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Make sure you join Diva tonight for trending topics. She will be going live soon, so make sure you turn your notification bell on all. That way you see each and every time we post a video with you in mind. Anything else?
No, that's everything. We're going to see how this part 2 go, and I can't wait till the men get up there because, you know, King told Dr. G, you got mad when I stepped to you. Dr. G said, no, I stepped to you.
Look, and then Damon said that you cowered down and stopped taking my patience after you said that I wouldn't, wouldn't cheating on my wife.
He was butt mad over that patient.
So mad. He is so mad. He is so mad, and I cannot wait to address that next week. I can't.
He pissy hot over that. He's just like his wife. We thought he was better. He like his wife.
And this fight with Simone and Quad, oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Honey. Well, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Hit the like button, subscribe, and we will see y'all next Monday for our recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Good night.
No, hold on.
They are nasty, dirty, low down trash buckets indeed, okay? You better read, Sassy B.
Oh, God.
Low down, dirty, nasty, dirty, low trash buckets individuals, okay?
Okay.
Thank y'all so much. Well, listen, we will see y'all next Monday. Make sure you stay tuned to our channels throughout this week to see what we got coming. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Good night and goodbye.
Bye, y'all.
Royaire's World.